All right, shalom. This is Knox Amba Yasharala from the Lions in the Yasharala camp. First and foremost, I'd like to say Kal Halayim La Yahweh, by Hashem Yahweh Shai, by Hashem Hamrakakodash Ma'amath. Double honors to the elder apostles of Great Millstone, and salutations to the Archman that are pushing the truth and sincerity and truth, and peace and blessings to the men, women, and children that believe in the name of Yahweh by Hashem Yahweh Shai. All right, this is Psalms chapter 68, verse 17. It says, "The chariots of Yahweh by Hashem Yahweh Shai are 20,000, even thousands of angels. The Lord Yahweh Shai is among them as in Sinai, in the holy place." All right. So I just played that clip of that video. That's and the name of the video says, U.S. Navy admits that leaked videos of UFO sightings are real and shouldn't have been made public. All right, but it doesn't matter how public they make them because you know, I see them a lot. A lot of you Akim see them a lot, but we know they're not UFOs. They're IFOs. They're the chariots of Yahweh by Shem Yahweh Shai, setting up to destroy this kingdom. All right. So it says Psalm 68 and 17. It says that the chariots of Yahweh are 20,000. So that's 20,000 chariots. And that might be just 20,000 lead chariots, because according to the book of Ezekiel, chapter 1, each main chariot had two chariots behind it, each wing chariot. So ain't no telling how many angels finna show up on this day, but it's gonna be a lot of them, man. And Yahweh Shai is gonna be in the midst of them, man, to wreak havoc on this place, man. All right, to destroy this kingdom and free the captives, man. All right. Let me get a new station alert has arrived. Oh, someone on that hurricane. All right. This is Zechariah chapter 5, verse 1. It says, "Then I turned and lift up mine eyes and looked, and behold, a flying roll. And he said unto me, What seest thou? And I answered, I see a flying roll." All right. This is Zechariah explaining what he saw when he seen the chariot. All right. It says, he says, "And he said unto me, What seest thou? And I answered, I see a flying roll. The length thereof is 20 cubits, and the breadth thereof is 10 cubits. All right. Then said he unto me, This is the curse." By the way, I don't know how to exactly measure cubits, but I think that's pretty big, probably bigger than a football field. It says, "Then said he unto me, This is the curse that goeth forth over the face of the earth, of the whole earth, for everyone that stealeth shall be cut off." All right, who steal? Esau, man. He's the thief. All right, Zechariah chapter 5 talks about Yahweh Shai entering in the house of the thief. Just like he said, I don't know if it was Matthew, Mark, Luke, or John, but he said, if he told the great man, matter of fact, let me find it. All right, this is Matthew chapter 12, verse 29. It says, or else, how can one enter into a strong man's house and spoil his goods, except he first bind the strong man, and then he will spoil his house? All right, so heaven is Yahweh's throne, and the earth is his footstool, right? But according to Job 9 and 24, the earth was given into the hand of the wicked. So who is that strong man that's talking about? That strong man is Esau. Yahweh Shai is about to bind him up because he has the keys to the bottomless pit, to death and hell. Yahweh Shai is going to bind him up, right? And take and spoil his goods, which his goods are the children of Israel, because we're ultimately Yahweh Shai's good, Yahweh by Shem Yahweh Shai's goods, but we were stolen from Yahweh by Shem Yahweh Shai by Esau, man. All right, and when Yahweh Shai returns, his precious jewels are going to be in the house of the thief. All right, because the earth was given into the hand of the wicked. All right, so all the riches that he's been hiding away, including the gold and silver and the precious jewels, the children of Israel, right? When Yahushua shows up, they're going to be caught in his hand. All right, and there's not going to be any way around it. So, you know what I'm saying? So that curse that's going to go out is Yahushua showing up with the holy angels, all right, to bind the strong man up, which is Esau. And ultimately, all these other nations are going to come bind up too. All right. So this Zechariah chapter 4, verse 3. It says, "Then he said unto me, This is the curse that goeth forth over the face of the whole earth. For everyone that stealeth shall be cut off as on this side according to it. And everyone that sweareth shall be cut off on that side according to it." All right. "I will bring forth, saith the Lord of hosts, the Lord of armies, and it shall enter into the house of the thief, and into the house of him that sweareth falsely by my name. And it shall remain in the midst of his house, and shall consume it with the timber thereof, and the stones thereof." All right. So ultimately, Esau is going to be eradicated off the earth, but the house of the thief, that strong man that Yahushua is coming down here to bind up, is Esau, and to bring us out of our captivity, man. So, and how is he going to do that? He's going to show up with the chariot with the holy angels, because just the way he left, that's the way he's going to show right back up. On the fact. Let me get Acts chapter 1, verse 11. It says, verse 10, it says, "And while they looked steadfastly toward heaven, as he..." Wait, hold on. Start at verse 9. It says, "And when he had spoken these things," all right, talking about Yahushua, "while they beheld, he was taken up, and a cloud received him out of their sight. And while they looked steadfastly toward heaven as he went up, behold, two men stood by him in white apparel, which also said, Ye men of Galilee, why stand ye gazing into the heavens? This same Yahushua, which is taken up from you into heaven, shall also come in like manner as ye have seen him go into heaven." So he's gonna descend as we see, as the disciples and apostles seen him ascend into the heavens. All right. We get Revelation chapter 1, verse 7. It says, "Behold, he cometh with clouds," meaning chariots, "and every eye shall see him, and they also which pierced him, and all kindreds of the earth shall wail because of him among." And so you heard how they were laughing, like, "What does that thing do? Whoa!" and all that garbage, man. They ain't gonna be sounding like that in that day, because they're gonna be afraid, man. Because the Lord ain't gonna show it. The Lord gonna do it in style. The Lord's gonna do overkill. Yahweh Shimi Shai is gonna do overkill, because it only takes one chariot to come and wipe this whole thing out. But he gonna show, man. It's gonna be so much overkill. Like, yo. Man, listen, the Lord's going to go out with a bang, or come in with a bang, should I say. All right. All right, Revelations 1 and 7, it says, "Behold, he cometh with clouds, and every eye shall see him, and they also which pierced him, and all kindreds and of the earth shall wail because of him, even so among." So man, they're going to be afraid, man. They're gonna be afraid, but but the Most High gonna put the spirit on them to fight. All right. All right. This is 2 Ezra chapter 13, verse 1. It says, "And it came to pass after 7 days, I dreamed a dream by night, and lo, there arose a wind from the earth, that it moved all the waves thereof, and I beheld, and lo, that man waxed strong with the thousands of heaven. All right, and when he turned his countenance to look, all the things trembled that were seen under him. All right, so yeah, so Yahweh Shai gonna show up with thousands of with the thousands, the host of heaven, man. Thousands. I'm talking about thousands. Thousands of chariots, man, with angels inside ready to do business, ready to do work. You know? And we're gonna have spiritual power, ready to do business, ready to do work, according to Yahweh Bashim Yahweh Shai's anger. Alright? It says verse 3, it says, and I beheld, and lo, that man waxed strong with the thousands of heaven, and when he turned his countenance and looked, all the things trembled that were seen under him. All right, so everybody getting scared. You know, and that's what it was explaining in Revelation 1 and 7. All right, it says, and whensoever the voice went out of his mouth, all they burnt that heard his voice, like as the earth faileth when it feeleth the fire. All right, that's how frightening, afraid that he's going to have everybody. All right, it said, and after this I beheld, and lo, there was gathered together a multitude of men out of number from the four winds of heaven to subdue that man that came out of the sea. All right, so that man that came out of the sea is talking about Yahweh Shai, man. So all these armies that are going to be gathered together in the valley of Kidron, in Kidron, the valley of Yahweh Shaphat, all right, all these troops are going to try to turn and fight. Even though they're scared, Yahweh Bashim Yahweh Shai is going to put the spirit on them to turn and fight. All right? And the Most High, and Yahweh Shai is going to destroy them, man. All right? Because, like, Yahweh Shai said it before. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, y'all don't think I can come destroy this right now? All right, this is Matthew chapter 26, verse 53, it says, thinkest thou that I cannot now pray to my Father, and he shall presently give me more than 10 legions of angels? All right, he's like, because Yahweh Shai was like, when they hemmed him up, and Peter cut that centurion's ear off, Yahweh Shai was like, yo, this ain't our time to fight. We'll get that time to fight, and best believe we're gonna do it real big. And that's why he was like, if it was time to fight, you don't think I could just pray to Yahweh and he's just send me to legions of angels? Legions is like thousands. So legions, thousands plural, So, Yahweh Bashim Yahweh Shai is going to go out with a glory, man. It's come in with a glory, shlaki. Destroying this kingdom that Esau set up. The earth, like I did a lesson a couple months ago. The end of the world, as we know it, you're witnessing a regime change. All right. So back in 2nd Ezra chapter 13, it says 13:5. It says, and after this I beheld, and lo, that there was gathered together a multitude of men out of number. So this is when all these armies are gonna try to fight against Yahweh Shai and the angels. Out of number from the four winds of heaven to subdue that man that came out of the sea. So you're going to see all kind of planes and stuff coming and stuff, because like from the winds of heaven, you're going to see a bunch of planes and stuff coming trying to shoot at Yahweh Shai. But it ain't going to work. Let me get Revelations 12:7. It says, and there was a war in heaven. Michael and his angels fought against the dragon, European Union, and the dragon fought and his angels, so NATO and America and these other nations. All right. So, but Yahweh Shai, Mayaka Allah, and the holy angels, right, are going to prevail against this devil. Okay. All right, this is 2nd Ezra chapter 13, verse 6. It says, but I beheld, and lo, He had graven himself a great mountain and flew upon it. All right. And that great mountain is a chariot, man. Let me see what this. Just bear with me for a second. All right. Let me get 2 Samuel chapter 22 verse 1, all right? It's going to be quite a bit of reading, all right? It says, And David spake unto the Lord the words of this song in the day that the Lord had delivered him out of the hand of all his enemies and out of the hand of Saul. And he said, The Lord is my rock and my fortress and my deliverer. The Yahweh, the power of my rock, in him will I trust. He is my shield and the horn of my salvation, my high tower and my refuge, my Savior. Thou savest me from violence. I will call on Yahweh by Hashem Yahushai, who is worthy to be praised. So shall I be saved from my enemies. When the waves of death come past me, the flood of ungodly men made me afraid. All right. All right, so that's going into martial law. When the enemy shall rush out of the flood, the Lord shall lift up a standard against them. All right. It says, The sorrows of hell compassed me, the snares of death prevented me. Who's putting down those snares? Esau, man. So through the scriptures, we avoid the snares of the fowler. All right. In my distress, I called upon the Lord, Yahweh Shem Shai, and cried to my power, and he did hear my voice out of his temple. And where's his temple? In the heavens, man. So that's where Yahweh Shai is coming from. And they cried, did enter into his ears. All right, into his ears. So entered into the ears of the Lord of Sabaoth, meaning the Lord of armies. Matter of fact, let me get it. This is James, chapter 5, verse 4. It says, Behold, the hire of the laborers which have reaped down your fields, which is of you kept back by fraud, crieth, and the cries of them have reaped and entered into the ears of the Lord of Sabaoth. Man, where Sabaoth right there means armies, man. Okay? So back in 2 Samuel, it says verse 7, 2 Samuel 22 and 7. It says, In my distress I called upon the Lord, Yahweh Shem Yahushai, and cried to my power. And he did hear my voice out of his temple, and my cry did enter into his ears. Then the earth shook and trembled, the foundations of heaven moved and shook because he was raw. And Yahweh Shem Yahushai is wroth right now. And Yahweh Shai on his way back, man. It's going down. All right. It says, verse 9, it says, Then went up a smoke out of his nostrils, and fire out of his mouth devoured. Coals were kindled by it. He bowed the heavens also and came down, and darkness was under his feet. All right. He rode upon a cherub and did fly, and he was seen upon the wings of the wind, man. All right. So going back to 2 Ezra chapter 13, all right, and that's how Yahweh Shai is going to enter riding on a cherub, man, with the holy angels. All right. It says, 2 Ezra 13 and 6, it says, But I beheld, and lo, he had graven himself a great mountain, and flew upon it. but I would have seen the region or place whereout the hill was graven, and I could not. And after this I beheld, and lo, all they which were gathered together to subdue him were so afraid, and yet durst fight. So the Most High is going to put that spirit in them for them to continue to fight. All right. It says, and lo, as he saw the violence of the multitude that came, he neither lifted up his hand, nor held sword, nor any instrument of war. All right, and that's what's going to happen to these Navy people, individuals that go up there with trying to do monitor this whole Space Force jump. All right, Yahweh Shai is going to have them scared, man. All right. It said, but only I saw, verse 10, it says, but only I saw that he sent out of his mouth, and it had been a blast of fire, and out of his lips a flaming breath, and out of his tongue he cast out sparkles of tempest, and they were all mixed together, the blast of fire, the flaming breath, and the great tempest, and fell with violence upon the multitude which was prepared to fight, and burnt them up every one, so that upon a sudden of an innumerable multitude nothing was to be perceived, but only dust and the smell of smoke. When I saw this, I was afraid, man. So only dust and smell of smoke was left after the Lord did his business, man. And he shot that laser beam from the chariots, man. This is I'm gonna close it out with this. This is Wisdom of Solomon, chapter 5, verse 21. It says, then shall the right aiming thunderbolts go abroad, and from the clouds, as from a well-drawn bow, shall they fire to their mark. All right? And that's how Yahweh Shai is going to show up, man. Matter of fact, let me keep going. And hailstones full of wrath shall be cast out of the stone bowl, and the water of the sea shall rage against them, and the flood shall surely come drown them. All right. And that's dealing with the Navy. All right. Yea, a mighty wind shall stand up against them, and like a storm shall blow them away. Thus iniquity shall lay waste the whole earth, and ill dealing shall overthrow the thrones of the might. All right. And the might of Esau is going to be overthrown by the power of Yahweh Hashem Yahweh Shai, man. With that being said, I'd like to say, Kal Halayim La Yahweh, by Hashem Yahweh Shai, by Hashem HaRakakwadash, my mouth. Double honors to the elder apostles of Great Millstone, and salutations to the Akim that are pushing the truth and sincerity and truth, and peace and blessings to the men, women, and children that believe in the name of Yahweh Hashem Yahweh Shai. Shalom.